Welcome back to the Cold War, episode 295, the Cuban Revolution, Ray. In our
Yes.
last episode, 26-year-old Fidel Castro and a group of spunky volunteers
Right.
tried to take the second largest barracks in Cuba, 26th of July 1953, the Moncada Barracks.
Yeah.
And it failed dismally.
Well, I mean, he's a great speaker, probably a good lover, loves cigars, could talk about politics all night long. Military operations, there's room for improvement. Some things were out of his control that went bad, went pear-shaped. But yeah, they got the hell out of there. Those who didn't make it were captured, tortured, and killed. But most of them got out, and now it's like, what do we do now?
I don't think most of them got out.
No?
A small number of them
Oh,
got
okay.
out. Most of them got captured and executed. Yeah.
Okay, I don't do math. Thank you.
Wasn't in your 5 pages of
It
notes.
was not.
No, no. So Fidel gets out. Raul gets out.
Yes.
Some others get out. A lot get captured. Castro's idea, Fidel's idea, was to cross over the mountains
Right.
to the other side of Cuba and continue fighting in that area. Like, this is one of the things that always has impressed me about Castro, and we'll see this later on when things go badly for him again,
Right.
when he comes back from Mexico, from exile in Mexico. But when the chips are down,
Yeah.
and his plans go to shit,
Right.
he doesn't give up.
No.
He doubles down every time. He's
Hard.
like,
Yeah.
he's like the knight in Monty Python. 'Tis a scratch, 'tis but a scratch. You've got no arms or legs.
Knight,
I'll
right.
bite you to death.
That's right.
Knight, yeah.
I'll do you in. I'll do you, mate. Yeah. No.
Come back, you coward, and fight. He, like, it says something about,
Yeah.
like, we've talked about this. I remember on the Alexander series, Alexander, I can't remember which fort he was taking, but he climbed up the ladder when the men couldn't get over, and he just jumps over himself and gets shot through the chest with an arrow for his trouble.
Arrow in the lung.
But
yeah.
like, the way that we talked about Alexander's lack of giving a fuck about his own life back then was that it was a win-win situation.
Exactly.
If he does it and pulls it off, he's a hero.
Right.
If he does it and he dies, he's a hero for being brave.
They'll talk about me.
They'll have poems written about it.
Podcasts and movies.
Epic poetry. Yeah.
They get an Irish actor or whatever he was. I don't know what that was. Yeah. No. I'll be famous forever.
So I think that was Alexander's model. Caesar, a little bit the same when he refuses to have a bodyguard when he's dictator, and he goes, "Look, if they want to kill me, they'll kill me.
Right here.
Like, I'm not gonna."
Yeah, right here.
Yeah,
Come on,
right.
come
I'm here to do my thing. If you don't like it, kill me.
They're like, okay.
People will talk about it.
Right.
Yeah.
He's like, oh, okay.
Napoleon, in his younger days in particular, would lead the army into battle. Later on, he realized he was too important.
Right.
He'd be back on the edges, keeping an eye on things and,
But for a
giving
while.
strategy. But he was still going, like, compared to every other monarch in Europe at the time, they didn't even go on the battlefield. They
No.
were at home in the castle.
Next to the buffet.
Napoleon would go on the march,
Yep.
be on the battlefield. He would put himself in the middle of the action, maybe not leading the charge in the
Right.
latter part of his career, but he was definitely doing way, way more than any other monarch
At the time.
did.
Yeah.
And Castro's one of these guys as well. He doesn't care he does care, but he's prepared to die. Let's put it that way.
Sacrifice. Yeah.
For the cause.
Exactly.
Yeah. If I'm asking you to put your life on the line, I have to be prepared to put my life on the line as well. But he also refuses to give up. He believes he's going to die trying,
Right.
than giving up.
Well, one, that was my attitude pursuing Heather. But two, in my 5 pages of notes that I will be sending you after we record this, one of the things was when Castro starts gathering his people, it's almost, and I don't want to go too far with this example, but it's almost like a religious whatever. He's like, everybody is to give up alcohol. Everybody is to be fully dedicated. And if there's anything that you do that I don't like, you are out. I mean, for him, this was a cause. This was a crusade, because they were literally trying to save the people of Cuba from the latest tyrant. So again, he had very high standards for these people, and if he's going to demand it of them, he clearly must demand it of himself as well.
Like, I demand it from you
all the time,
which is hobnobbing, no drinking whiskey and playing pool with your other boyfriends.
I will cut them loose tonight.
It's also like us in podcasting. Like, we refuse to give up. People say to us, why are you wasting your time? No one cares. Yeah.
We care.
Like, no. We're on a mission from God.
We care. That's right. I don't want to let God down. Don't let God down.
We're not qualified to do anything else. So
that's what it comes down to. Really, if you want the nub, we can't do anything.
What else are we going to do? Yeah, who's going to give us a job at this stage of our lives?
If you were to, because I've been doing this since. I know I haven't been doing it as long as you, but my resume for right now, the way it stands, it's not impressive. I have to ride this bitch out. This is all I got. It wasn't
impressive to start with.
But it's even worse now. I mean, so if I had to explain what I've been doing for the last 12 years.
You were a door bitch at Walmart when I met you.
Door bastard. Thank you. No.
At least I had a career at some point.
That's hurtful, but true. But no, this is all we can do at this point.
It's been 20 years since I've had a job.
Yeah.
On my resume, it's just got ... after 2004. And they go, what have you doing?
Whatever.
A bit of this, bit of that.
Day by day. I take it day by day.
Yeah.
Anyway.
So, Castro is going to cross the mountains, but he's at sea level. And the mountain range is up 3,000 feet.
And a high.
So he sets off. He has about, I think all up, he leaves the farm with 19 guys, including himself.
Hearts of gold.
And they start the hike up the mountains with a few weapons. But Batista's forces are out hunting them. They're traveling in vehicles across highways and mountain roads. So they figured, they were going to go up the mountains probably.
Yeah.
So they went up and stationed themselves across all the high points. Mm-hmm. So he's hiding out in the mountains from Batista's troops that are hunting him down.
Yeah.
And over the next couple of weeks, he loses all but 2 of his men to injuries and weakness. They don't have any food.
Right.
It's cold. It's wet. They're,
the elements
hiking through the mountains. Yeah. They're tripping over. They're breaking things.
Goat attacks.
So it's him and 2 guys hiding from Batista's army. Again, any sensible, reasonable person at this stage would give up. He's 26, for fuck's sake. At some point, you're going to maybe, you know what, I didn't think this through. Maybe I'm young and stupid and I shouldn't be doing this. Well, this is not going well.
Because this is Cuba, I can say this nowadays. I can use a baseball metaphor. Look, we swung for the fences. We missed. Okay. Maybe we should let's just walk back down and give ourselves up. But no, this is for Cuba.
But not Fidel Castro.
No, goddamn right.
And eventually, he said later in life, they made another stupid mistake. His first stupid mistake. By the way, later in life, he said the strategy that he had for taking Moncada, he wouldn't change a thing. That was the right strategy. He said, if I had my time over again, I would do exactly the same thing. Taking the barracks to get the weapons, taking it when they did, how they did, should have worked.
Right.
The only thing he would have changed is not stop when he saw that patrol.
Right.
Keep going. Proceed with the plan.
Push ahead.
He would have done that,
Yeah.
But the second stupid mistake was after weeks of hiking in the cold and the wet and the famine, starving, instead of sleeping in the woods like they'd done every night, they found a tiny little shed that was used to keep plants and things in. And they spent the night in that tiny little shed. And while they were asleep, the door burst open. Here's a bunch of soldiers pointing guns at them, and they were captured.
Just one night of decent sleep was all I wanted. And Colonel Chaviano's men, who originally wanted to kill 10 rebels for every soldier that was killed, finally has got his man. So Castro is captured.
That all you got in your notes?
You
got more?
But it was just those 5 pages. Oh, I will say this during those weeks, and it kind of doesn't matter what, because this colonel really wanted to go to town. And if you have any kids listening, just don't let them listen for the next 10 seconds. But that lady that you mentioned, was it her brother that had his eyes gouged out by bayonets? The point is, the soldiers were going hard for revenge, and there was a lot of torture going on. In fact, some room in the barracks was used as the torture room, and there was blood all over the place. But anyways, this colonel's going balls to the wall. Who knows what Batista knew? He probably would have been okay with it. However, he did institute martial law. He did put the army on a island-wide alert. He did he had strict censorship for the press. He did suspend the prison code, which is what the police have to. They have to be responsible for the lives of the prisoners. So the government went pretty extreme. The colonel went even further, but now they have their man. And I think is it an archbishop who's going to go, whoa, we need to calm down with the killings.
Okay.
Yeah. And I'll stop right there.
Yeah, you're jumping way ahead.
I'm jumping way ahead.
I believe it was Batista who gave the direct order that 10 rebels had to be killed for every Cuban soldier who was killed in the attack. It's his own form of decimation.
Right.
Fidel says when they got arrested, there was a dozen or so soldiers. They looked furious. He said they had veins and arteries throbbing in their necks. They wanted to kill them on the spot.
Right.
But a big argument broke out between him and the soldiers. He was saying, we are the successors to Jose Marti. They said, no, we're the successors to Jose Marti. He said, no,
I am
part of a coup regime. You guys are a disgrace to the people. Anyway, Fidel and his men were tied up, and he said they didn't recognize him because he was emaciated, been hiking, no food.
Beard.
Scruffy looking, had started to grow a beard, keeping in mind that Fidel, before this stage, didn't have the revolutionary beard.
Exactly.
When we get to the actual Cuban Revolution part of this, we'll explain the role of the beards and why they grew beards the way they grew them. But this was before that.
Right.
He just had a mustache. If you see the photos of him before this, a mustache, clean shaven apart from that. Now he's scruffy beard, scruffy hair, etc., etc.
Right.
They asked him his name and he gave them some fake name. He said there was some joke he remembered that had some guy's name in it, so he just blurted that out. He said if I'd spoken my own name, they would have killed me then and there.
Right.
Many of the soldiers wanted to kill him anyway, but Fidel says there was one lieutenant, a tall black man, 30 or 40 years old, by the name of Lieutenant Sarria. Apparently he was studying law in his spare time, and he was trying to restrain the soldiers by saying, don't shoot, ideas can't be killed. Fidel says he just kept muttering it over and over. Ideas can't be killed. Ideas can't be killed.
Like that.
Ideas can't be killed. Don't kill them. Ideas can't be killed. Which I think is something similar to what Che Guevara said when he was assassinated by the CIA's henchmen decade and change later. But anyway, this guy didn't know who Fidel was either, but apparently he convinced them not to kill Fidel and the other guys on the spot.
Right. Oh, I don't want to skip over this, but I did want to ask, when this all went down, the average Cuban, shocked at what Castro, or not, maybe shocked might be too strong of a word, whatever, what they were doing. But then rumors started getting out about the torture and about the murder of what the soldiers were doing. And then I think photos were getting smuggled out. And so the people went from being disappointed at Castro to disgusted with the army and the regime. So again, the atmosphere, politically speaking, is changing in the country while Castro is hiding in the mountains. The people are just going, God dang, calm down. So again, he's getting more sympathy now at the end than he was at the beginning.
We have to keep in mind that this is Cuba that has had X number of revolutions and civil wars that we've covered in the preceding 60, 70 years. So it's not like people are like, oh, clutching their pearls.
Right,
Oh, my
right,
God,
yeah.
armed revolution in Cuba. Whatever shall we do? This is normal for Cuba.
Yeah, the gangster stuff we talked about.
Yeah, I mean, and Batista's just had a coup to take government. So this isn't shocking to the Cuban people like we may think of it in the West. If there was a military coup or an attempted coup in Australia, everyone would be like, "Go, what the fuck is going on?"
Right.
But this is like a Tuesday in Cuba at the time, right?
Yeah. But the stories of torture were, coming out pretty regularly. I don't know. I'm just saying a little bit of torture here between friends is one thing, but I think that it just kept going. So I don't know. I don't want to sell it too hard. I didn't mean to, but yeah, I mean, sympathies, might have started switching sides to a degree.
Yeah, torture and summary executions are another thing entirely.
Yeah.
So Fidel and his men are marched out of the shed, and suddenly he said they heard shots coming from the same direction that the soldiers were taking them in.
Right.
Apparently, a farmer they had left some of their men with previously had made contact with an army patrol. And it was at this point that the black lieutenant ordered Fidel and his men to hit the ground. Now, Fidel thought they were just going to execute them on the spot, so he refused to get down. He said, if you want to kill me while I'm standing.
Right.
He thought it was some sort of a trick to just execute them, on their knees or lying down or whatever.
Yeah.
The lieutenant said to him, "You are very brave, muchachos. You are very brave boys." And as it was at that point that Fidel told him, "Listen, I want to tell you something. I am Fidel Castro." And the black lieutenant said, "Shh, don't tell anyone. Don't tell."
Yeah. Good call.
So Fidel is like trusting this guy now as a good guy, a man of respect. Then when they came across the commandante for this patrol, Chaviano, he ordered the lieutenant to turn the prisoners over to him, but the lieutenant refused. He said, "This man is my prisoner and I take responsibility for him."
Yeah.
He's protecting the lives of the prisoners. So Fidel later says this guy saved his life several times over the course of that day.
Pretty an angel.
Instead of taking him to Moncada Barracks, where they would have executed him on the spot, this Lieutenant Sarria took him to a police station, a civilian prison in the center of the city, which was under the jurisdiction of the courts and not the military. When the revolution was over in 1959, Fidel promoted Sarria to captain and made him the aide to the first president of the republic.
Wow. Some good deeds do get rewarded. Guardian angel, if you will, for Castro.
But when it was found out later on that it was Fidel that Sarria had saved, Sarria was not very well treated.
No, he didn't go
Batista in the army.
Yeah, he didn't rise very far in the army.
But Fidel looked after him later on. He said, unfortunately, he didn't live very long after that. He died of some illness a few years later, but
such as life.
He did reward him for protecting Fidel at that point.
Good guy, Castro.